Good afternoon, everybody. This is Matt. I'm making a video today here about these wheels that I just put on the car. The moment I put them on the car and posted some pictures, I got a whole bunch of questions on fitment, sizing, offset, width, tire width, ride height, adjustability, turning circle, you name it. My inbox got bombarded with questions, so I'm going to make a video and hopefully answer all of those questions to everybody. So what we're looking at is a brand new set of Vossen wheels, HF2s. The fronts are 22 by 10.5 with an offset of 19 and a 295/30/22 tire. And the rears are a 22 by 12 with an offset of 20 and a 335/25/22 tire. Now, the first question everybody always asks is about pokage. How much do they stick out? Now, I like the look of them sticking out just a little bit. Some people don't like that. Some people want a perfectly flush look, so I'm going to hopefully answer that for you. Now, I have lowered this vehicle with some drop links. I'm lowered about a ½ inch in the front and about an inch in the back, and it is in loading mode right now. So if you notice, there is quite a bit of camber. But some folks choose to actually drive this low. And the higher up you are, the less camber that you'll have. But even if you choose to set your ride height this low while you're driving, this is probably about what it's going to look like. So let me see if I can line up this fender. So if we line up the fender perfectly straight, you can see there's definitely a little bit of pokage, more in the bottom than there is in the top because of the camber. But even at the top, there is a little bit of pokage, maybe 3/4 of an inch sticking out. I like it. Not everybody does, and a lot of folks have asked me how much they can go in, how much more offset they can have to tuck the tires up under the car a little bit more, and I'm going to answer that question in just a second. So there you have it from the front, or excuse me, from the back. And from the front, same question here. So we'll line up the top of the fender perfectly straight. It is almost dead flush with at least the top of the tire. Again, some camber in the front, not as much as there is in the rear, even with it sitting lower than stock. But the front lines up just about perfectly. If there is any pokage at all, it's maybe a few millimeters, not much more than that. Okay, so again, the sizing, 22 by 10.5, 19 offset with 295 width tires. Let me reach back here. Between the wheel and the inner fender well, you've got about an inch. That's about it. Not a whole lot at all, and that's at the top of the tire. If you wanted to tuck these up under the car a little more, currently sitting at a 19 offset, I'd maybe go up to 24, 25. I wouldn't go any more of an offset than that. Any more than that, I'd be afraid that you'd scrub the inside of the fender wells. And again, I don't have any issues with this rubbing right now. Even at full lock in both directions, even fully lowered, it doesn't, rough roads, potholes, nothing like that, it doesn't rub at all. And you can see my ride height. It's not extreme. I'm not into the whole dumped look, but it is lowered a little bit. You could probably go to an offset of, again, 24, maybe 25, and be safe, but keep in mind that's just the top of the tire. You know, the tire turns left and right, so you could potentially run into issues, you know, at full lock, whether or not it rubs. But I can tell you at this offset, 22 by 10.5, 19 offset, it does not rub at all. Even lowered, it does not rub. So take that for what it's worth. It's also almost perfectly flush in the front if that's what you're looking for. In the rear, again, we do have a little bit of pokage coming out. So let me feel back here. Oh, wow. Quite a bit of room back here. I mean, I don't have a measuring tool, but with my fingers, the outside of my fingers, so you're looking at 2 inches, maybe almost 2.5 inches, that you could go further up under the car. So these, if you wanted that flush look. So again, standing from the back of the car, perfectly flush. I don't know, you're looking at maybe, like I said, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of pokage sticking out. You could easily, these are a 22x12 with a 20 offset. You could easily go with a 40 offset and push them up under the car a little bit more if you wanted to make them perfectly flush. Or you could just go with the offset that I chose. I like a more aggressive look. That's up to you, but either way, hopefully this answers the questions that folks were having about fitment, offset, sizing, tire size. I think I answered all the questions kind of in one video, and hopefully it helps. Thanks, folks.